What's going on, gang? Billy here, Storm Trades. Let's do another trade recap. This time, we're going to go through my NQ short from Friday, June 13th, afternoon trading session. We got a win on this trade. However, this was a weird trading day. I had already taken two losses on gold and oil in the morning session. I thought prices were headed higher due to the war that had just broken out that night in the Middle East. And NQ, I expected to go lower because of the news of the war. And it was, in fact, the only pair that traded in the direction that I thought the news would bring it. Anyway, let's get right after it. Always starting on the daily. Okay, this is going to get, for you guys that watch this every time, it's going to be sort of repetitive. And that's the point. I'm looking at the daily, and I'm trying to get a bias based on something that just stands right out to me. Right, the narrative has to make sense almost instantaneously. First things first. Oh, that's not first things first. First things first. I'll draw out the previous daily low and the previous daily high. I like to run a fib, as you know, from the previous daily candle, just to sort of see where we are in relation to that. I also want to make note of any internal or external liquidity that we're recently delivering from. And we had a nice reaction from a daily swing high. And ever since then, we started to move lower, right? So we had a sweep when we reached the daily swing high. We had a sweep. This is on the Wednesday candle. Wednesday swept the Tuesday's high and came back down in the range, which indicated to me that we are moving back down towards some sort of internal range liquidity after taking the swing high there on the daily. Now, also something to note: this is just reinforcing where I think price is headed. Where not only did we sweep a swing high, but we swept that swing high into a bearish daily fair value gap. So we are, in my opinion, this is a textbook bias for a textbook bearish bias. Okay, I'm looking for lower prices on this day, and it also made sense that we were looking at a new war in the Middle East. So anyway, as soon as I have the daily bias, and just to make note, I don't have to trade in the direction of the daily bias, but I do like to have an understanding of where price is headed from and where it could be headed to. And once I have that, I'm looking to head to the hourly time frame to establish the narrative. And from there, I will mark out some POIs and find a way to potentially get on sides with the trade that's in the direction of the high time frame hourly market structure. All right, now moving on to I'm going to pull up the hourly chart here, and this was in the afternoon session. So the afternoon session, I start trading at 1 o'clock, right? So, but just taking a look overall at the chart here, right? So I'll first mark out the change in state delivery right here. This is the smart money reversal for the week. It happened on Wednesday. And whenever I can clearly see the smart money reversal, I'm going to draw a fib and then maybe mark out some liquidity levels that price could draw to, right? So I will make note at this swing low down here on the hourly. It sort of lines up with the minus 1.5 to minus 2. So just levels to see where you want to see price potentially head towards. And I also want to make note here that we had I'm considering this a qualified order block, a bearish order block here, as these were the up close candles that took some liquidity here into the change in state of delivery, and then we moved with displacement down lower, back down into the range. Okay, I want to make note that price is currently located inside of a bearish hourly fair value gap. That's one of my requirements in order to start hunting for trades on my execution time frame, which is the M5. As soon as I have that happen, and I am looking for lower prices, I am immediately going to drop down into my execution time frame, which is my M5, and from there I'm going to be looking for a sweep, some sort of liquidity, and then displacement back down into the range. In this case, I'll look to take price lower if that's what price gives me. Now, just gonna pull price over here. Now, we're inside the POI, but I still am looking for a sweep, and I'm just going to be watching price. Okay. And this isn't, this is during lunch, right? So I just came to the charts right after lunch, but I will just see what price did here during lunch. And I'm just going to make note here that we had a liquidity raid, or it looks like we were setting up to have a liquidity raid, right? So which would be like a C2 sweep if you're familiar with T-trades. And whenever we have a liquidity raid or a sweep of liquidity, I want to mark out the series of up close candles in this case, because we're looking bearish, that took that liquidity, and I marked that out. Now again, this is during lunch, so I didn't trade this right here. What I got involved in was a continuation based upon this this narrative, right? So I'm just going to let price play out here. It's almost 1 o'clock. And here's 1 o'clock. So this is when I started looking for trades, viable trades. So I noticed that we got some support from the change in the state of delivery order block. We have now confirmed a C2 close, bearish closure here on the hourly. So this would be the C3 candle that would look for some sort of an expansion lower, right? So all of this is sort of, it's all building a narrative, and from the standpoint of the daily bias, it's making sense, right? So price can do whatever it wants, whenever it wants. We know that. However, when we can stack the time frame alignment and find a good model on the M5, we really am sort of stacking the deck in terms of the odds that our trade will work out in our favor. So I'm just going to play price forward a little bit. And at this point right here, I'm going to take note that we have retraced back up into an M5 bearish fair value gap. And look how we just tapped the change in the state of delivery there. I'm going to make note that if we close back below this, this would be a qualified order block that I would look to get on sides with a trade on, right? So this up close candle came in, take some liquidity. It's a very similar, if not the same concept of taking liquidity up here and changing and closing down below the change in state of delivery order block. And at this very next candle, right, this bearish candle, I entered here with a stop above this swing point, which also happens to be above the bearish M5 fair value gap. And as you can see here, I had targeted a 1.75R trade, and the reason was this is this little swing point down here, as I marked off as the minor sell side, is the closest sort of low-hanging fruit swing point. It's inside of a bullish fair value gap, and I don't need to go all the way down here. Okay, I'm looking to take profit out of the market. I'm trading funded accounts, I'm trading Apex accounts, and I'm not looking for a ton of drawdown. In fact, I'm looking for ways to just simply make a really good profit. And I don't need to make 4R, 5R with my Apex, because I have the chance for the account to hit a trailing drawdown even in a positive trade. So I'm looking for low-hanging fruit. I marked that out, and I entered right here, kind of with a sell there, and stop loss right above the bearish M5 fair value gap, with a take profit at this, what I'm calling a minor sell side level. Okay, let's move price down, and we really had very little drawdown. And as you can see, price is going to completely dump here. Okay, but we got a nice trade, and it was nice to get some green on the day, considering we had 2 losses on the other pairs that I trade. But this was a great trade where we had high time frame alignment. We also had external news regarding the war that just sort of adds into a confluence. I kind of got burned looking for trades in the opposite direction on CL and GC, but regardless, we got a high time frame POI engagement. We got displacement down through a change in the state of delivery, and in this particular um, trade, because that happened during lunch, I waited till 1 o'clock for a retracement. Got in on a continuation order block. Hope you guys enjoyed this. If you get anything out of this at all, please like, subscribe, make comments. I really appreciate anybody who takes the time to watch my stuff. So you guys have a great day, and you have a good one.